Welcome back to the Time Room Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about this TF Source list of the 18 classic franchises that they would love to see in collaborative crossovers. Here's the thing, there's so much buzz going on right now about this Gigawatt. These crossovers seem to be a lot of fun and really cool ways to get a new Transformer and get something iconic that's linked to the 80s. I think it's a great idea. I think it's awesome that TF Source took the time to make a little list for us to talk about. So let's get right into it. So before we get into what possible future crossovers there could be, I do want to say if you're one of the people that spent 600, 1,000, whatever crazy numbers on this Gigawatt figure, I am sorry. There's going to be a lot of them coming in October. I plan to pick up 2 for the $30 a piece. So with that, I wouldn't spend the money on it. I wouldn't be one of these people doing the crazy pre-orders. And I never pre-order from eBay. I think it's a terrible idea. I keep seeing people get into a lot of trouble with that every single day. So moving into the first one, Hasbro could give us a speed racer car. And yeah, this would be cool. This is a really sleek automobile, kind of in the RC styling. Would be interesting to see how they go about it. It would be interesting to see what mold that they borrow from to make this vehicle and what the figure would look like. But I think it would be a very sleek figure as a robot mode in addition to car mode. Next up we have the Scooby-Dooby-Doo Mystery Machine. Now this is something that seems to be popping up in Walmarts a lot. There's been a lot of Mystery Machine and Scooby-Doo getting sold lately, and I think this is definitely a candidate. And if it is a candidate, and if it does get made, I wonder what the bot would look like. Maybe they could figure out a way to possibly use an Ironhide mold, maybe? Next on the list we have the Star Trek Enterprise. Now this thing, I think I've seen somebody make a custom of this, and that would definitely look cool. The bot mode would be a serious challenge. The transformation would be complicated, and there wouldn't be a mold to borrow from. But again, wouldn't it be a lot of fun? Next on the list is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van, and the thing about this Turtles van is it seems like you would have almost the exact same type of transformation as you would with the Scooby-Doo van. But it would be something that's kind of cool. I wonder what kind of pack-in accessories they would put with it. Would they have a couple of little turtles that could ride in it? Which I kind of think that's what some of these are lacking, is the figures to accompany it, the figures to go along with it. Next on the list is Battlestar Galactica. And I personally don't have a huge tie to the ships in that series, so I really don't know how far this would go, how far the fandom goes with that. But again, these all feel like they would exist in Star Wars universe. So with that, it would be kind of exciting. Next up is the 77 Camaro from the Smokey and the Bandit. And I think it's actually a Trans Am. I misspoke. But this thing is pretty awesome, and I know it's got a lot of history behind it. That would probably be like a Bumblebee reuse. That would be my guess if they were to go along this route. And it would be the 78 Camaro, and they would just slightly alter it and give it an awesome paint job. Next on the list is the 1989 Michael Keaton Batmobile. Probably could be any Batmobile, to tell you the truth, but the 1989 Batmobile is really awesome. It's one of my favorites of Batmobile. Okay, it is my favorite of the Batmobiles. And with that, it would make an excellent crossover. Not only is it a sleek, awesome-looking design for a car, but this could make a really mean-looking bot. I mean, it would have to be an all-new design. But then again, they worked magic with that Ecto-1 and the Ectotron. So maybe they could pull something out and borrow from another design. Next on the list here is the Magnum PI Ferrari. Now, I gotta say, this is definitely an awesome Ferrari. I think it already looks, if I'm not mistaken, like one of the other G1 figures. You know that Omnibot Overdrive? Maybe I'm wrong, but I always think of, when I see this car, I think of that Overdrive. Wouldn't it be cool if they could do that? Next up could be a Mask crossover. Crossover between, like, we need a resurgence of Mask. We need something done with that toy line. We need something done with a lot of these 80s toy lines. But thinking about it, wouldn't this be sort of like a movie masterpiece, Optimus Prime? If you really think about it, could be one of those movie masterpiece Optimus Primes they've already made, like a studio series, that just gets a fresh paint job, a new head sculpt. Would be pretty awesome. It would also be awesome if they could somehow make the play function still work. Wow, that'd be amazing. Next on the list is the Thundercats, and Thundercats ho. Anyway, the Thunder Tank is something that I feel the new modern interpretation was a little underwhelming, and the vintage one still reigns supreme. It is still a much better version than the one that they made, 2016 I think is when that came out. But anyway, wouldn't it be awesome to have a crossover for that? I mean, it almost looks like you could just do it. It looks like it could transform into a robot the way it is. What a great idea. Next up is Airwolf and his helicopter. I would see a lot of different helicopters that could work in this, and I bet what they would do, though, is probably reuse the Alpha Bravo mold. I mean, I don't want to see that. I mean, the Alpha Bravo mold's not bad, but it really doesn't match this. Would be interesting to see where they go with this helicopter, if they could match it. Next on the list is Herbie the Love Bug, and I don't know, I'm lost. I can't figure out what mold they could borrow. It'd have to be an all-new, completely new figure, because there is not another Transformer that would... Cliff Jumper? I guess you could use Cliff Jumper, I guess, but it just still doesn't look like this. Bumblebee? They haven't made a Bumblebee that looks like this. I don't know what they would do. Maybe it'd have to be a Studio Series Bumblebee. Next on the list is Robocop, but then again, Robo 1, maybe, the Robo 1 itself, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. That's an excellent looking vehicle. And to turn it into Robocop, it would be kind of interesting to see how they do that. There are a lot of different James Bond vehicles out there that could be used. I would think the Lotus Esprit, though, would be the one that they would go with if they were going to do a James Bond mobile. Gotta be the Lotus. Next on the list, the Jurassic Park Jeep. Now this thing would work well. They've already got the Bumblebee version. They're probably going to put out a Hound eventually that looks right in Jeep mode. There's probably going to get a super tune Hound one day. So why not cross it over, repaint that bad boy, and do the Jurassic Park one? We already know they're doing the Top Gun. We already see that collaborative work going on right there. We know it's going to happen, but would they do more? I don't know. Probably not. And next on the list, of course, Kit from Knight Rider. Kit from Knight Rider is a very iconic car. It has a mind of its own, a personality of its own, and it's more of a modern day take on the Smokey the Bandit car, but it would be cool. It would work very well. And also, with the same thought on this, wouldn't it be great if they would do a Mask crossover very similar to this car? The Mask car and this car are very similar to the Thunderhawk. Just repaint it and make sure the doors go up properly. Wouldn't that be awesome? Great ideas that could be turned into Transformers. Last one on the list here is the A-Team van, and again, what would it turn into? What mold would they reuse or borrow from? The A-Team van is cool. It is iconic. It is super 80s and transcends time because it looks so cool. Also, with this A-Team van, they could do the Bionic 6 Mules van. I don't know if that would catch on enough to be worth production whatsoever at all, but a lot of these things that they could do or would do could be repainted to yet other crossovers with very little bit of work, and I always think about that stuff all the time. Let me know what you think about these crossover ideas. Which ones would you like to see? And hey, what would you like to see that wasn't on this list? Like, subscribe, Padir Painter out.